On August 19th, 2013, Blurred Lines by Pharrell Williams was at the top of every radio station, devastating floods ran rampant through China and killed 91 people, and I was 6 years old and looked like this. This day is important for the two prior reasons, but also because it's the day I discovered a little rock group called OK Go. You may have seen them in the late 2000s to early 2010s because of their viral YouTube hits for their music videos, which weren't just them rocking out to their songs. These guys were on treadmills, doing synchronized dancing, walking on glass, making complex machines, going to space, playing with dogs, racing through obstacles, dancing in front of printers, and making really neat toast. And whatever this was, all to the tune of their music. All of their music videos were unique, and the internet absolutely devoured them. However, on August 19, 2013, the only one of their videos I was interested in was for their song, End Love. In this video, the colorfully bedazzled band members slowly made their way through New York's Echo Park over the course of 18 hours to produce a time-lapse music video, shrinking the hours upon hours of footage into a single 4-minute watch. This video fascinated me as a kid, and it has stuck with me throughout my life. One day, a few months ago, I began writing a paper for my English class about the band as a sort of tribute since I'd been enjoying them since my childhood. To my surprise though, as I was researching for the paper, the band made an announcement. Just hours before, it had been revealed that the group, which hadn't made new music in 5 years, hadn't toured in 7 years, and whose most recent album had been released in 2014, was back. New album, new music videos, and most importantly, a new tour. My mind instantly shot back to that day in 2013. A dream of mine was to see that wonderful song live, but I was far too young when they were touring to see it, and by the time I started going to concerts, the band wasn't active. So after nearly 12 years, there was finally a chance my dream could become a reality. But I wasn't just going to sit there and hope. I was going to do my darndest to make sure it happened. So on April 1st, 2025, I created a new YouTube channel and uploaded a video. This is the story of OK Go will play End Love on April 27th in Cleveland. My first video explained what I've just been saying, and I posted it on my Discord server. I knew the overlap between my fans and OK Go's fans would be next to nothing, but I thought a little exposure couldn't hurt.
My name is Riley, and 4,424 days ago my mother recorded this video. This is a video of younger me, the one who kind of looked like a potato and still had straight short hair, dancing to the newly released OK Go music video for their song End Love off of their third studio album Of the Blue Color of the Sky.
As I uploaded it though, I realized that I didn't exactly have a plan on how to make this happen. I knew I wanted to, and that I can dedicate myself to do bits enough to do some wild stuff, but I was unsure what I could reasonably do to make it happen. I decided to do daily videos which mentioned the band's YouTube channel in the comments. If they saw my dedication to the bit, then who knows. I followed this up with a similarly formatted video, explaining the music video and why I enjoy it. While some of the band's other works are more extravagant, such as the extremely technical writings on the wall, optical illusions, and the highly choreographed I Won't Let You Down music video, the simplicity in End Love's concept is what I, love. It's not anything with a big budget. If you got a group of friends and time, anyone could do the exact same thing. It was inspiring to me as someone who was about to find out how much they loved creating content, and that simple idea with fantastic execution was something I'd strive for throughout my life. On top of that, it's just a really good song. A lot of the band's music videos overshadow the music itself, but I really do enjoy their work. This song especially is always a blast when it comes on my playlist, but the music video definitely helped spread the word around. The next day, I started to realize this wasn't going to be as easy as I thought.
Hello and welcome to episode 3 of OK Go will play End Love on April 27th in Cleveland. This is the record version of their third studio album Of the Blue Color of the Sky.
I got home from school, fiddled around on GarageBand for a few hours, and realized I hadn't done my daily video yet. So I quickly dashed to my room, grabbed my OK Go record, and recorded a quick little video about it. The real weight of the challenge I presented myself with truly started to set in. I'd be making daily videos for the next 24 days. With my upload schedule, did you see me in late 2024? I was working at a snail's pace! However, I had started making more regular videos as of late, so that gave me hope I could do it. Who knows, if I skipped a day, who'd really care? OK Go might. What if they were watching me right now? What if they told themselves that if I follow through with my 27-day promise, they'll play the song? This was a ridiculous idea, but I knew hanging on to it would be my only way I'd make it through. So I locked that thought in my head and decided that I wouldn't give up on this stupid plan. And speaking of a plan, I finally had one. My YouTube username was OKGo will play End Love on April 27th in Cleveland. Pretty to the point, so why don't I just comment on OKGo's channel a bunch with that account? They clearly check their comments, so there's a chance they could see it, and any chance is a chance I could take. If I commented on every single video, who knows what could happen?
Looks doggone hard. Speaking of dogs, the dog day sure would be over if you played End Love on April 27th in Cleveland. The goal of this is to be whimsical and fun, and also make it a thematically appropriate comment for each video.
Speaking of comments, at this point in the challenge, I started getting comments from people outside of my immediate YouTube sphere. It was working! People who like OKGo were seeing what I was doing. And one person in particular, Pepsi Man, would go on to be a driving force in the challenge. Learn the million ways dance and post it. I don't know how that'll help, but it'd be fun, lol. 4 days into the challenge, I was already struggling to think of ideas on short notice, so this was a good one. The next day was Saturday, so I had nothing to do. So I went in my basement, set up my phone, and danced.
Hello, and welcome back to episode 5 of OKGo will play End Love on April 27th in Cleveland. Today's episode is A Million Ways.
Play that song again, another cup of gonna bring another glance of how far to go. Oh, such grace, oh, such grace, oh, such beauty, oh, such beauty. The lipstick and goddess and fishness and madness, oh, darling, you're a million ways to be cruel.
It was wonderful. It took a few hours to loosely figure out all the moves, but once I did that, I just played the song at a slow pace and sped up my recording. I recorded a quick cover of the song for extra brownie points and then uploaded it. Pepsi Man was surprised by how quickly I did it, but when you're an upcoming film major with too much time on your hands and you'll do anything to forget how homeless you'll be in 5 years' time, you'll do anything. But this video lit a spark inside me, because if I could make something like this at the drop of a pin, what else could I do? This challenge was gonna go great! 8:29 p.m. Sunday night. I forgot to upload a video! Still riding the high of A Million Ways, I had completely forgotten to record a new one, so I very quickly recited the lyrics to the song off the back of my record and called it a night. This was a big failure, and I swore to myself that from this point on, nothing of the kind would happen. For the week's anniversary of the challenge, I decided to recite the essay that I'd written the months prior. I ended up getting a perfect grade on the paper, so it was kinda good. And I made my teacher an OKGo fan in the process, so I consider that a big win in my book. Fun fact, there's a really social goose in Echo Park, and it actually made an appearance in the music video. I'll just let myself explain this one actually.
Now, this goose was all over their team for the entirety of shooting, which I find to be very comical.
Another brilliant idea from Pepsi Man came in the form of reading the Wikipedia page for End Love. Since there's a lot of information about the creation and filming process of the video, the song has its own page, so I read it all. Every last word. Besides the references, of course. By this point, I've been commenting on several OKGo videos every day, and I built up a pretty big presence. Most videos you click on from their more recent collection, you'll find me somewhere. This was a special day for 2 reasons, one being that I'd gone 10 days straight uploading, something I'd never done before, but also because the next day was the release date for OKGo's new album, and The Adjacent Possible. It was their first album in 11 years, so I was thrilled to hear it, especially because of the single and music video which was set to release alongside the album called what?
Well, I'll be damned. 11 days into my endeavor to get OKGo to play their song End Love on April 27th in Cleveland, and what do? But release a new song simply titled Love. What is this? What is this? I don't want my love to start, I want it to end. I don't want it to keep going. I don't want love to be a constant. I want love to do one thing, and that's end. But no, they've just got to release a new song for their new album, which will go on tour, and oh my goodness gracious, I know what they're gonna say. They're gonna say we can't have two songs that talk about love in them, because one is called Love and the other is called End Love. So the only reasonable thing to do, wait a second, once they play Love, there will be no way to stop it unless they play End Love. It's the perfect setup. They're geniuses. Oh, okay, go. Round of applause for another brilliant idea. This is better than all of your video ideas. This is your single greatest accomplishment, I dare say. Not only have they released a new album for the first time in 11 years, but they've made a perfect setup to have my favorite song played at their concert. This is perfect. Now, of course, we must watch the video for this amazing new song. Let's begin.
After that series of revelations, I watched the music video, and it was actually fantastic. Definitely one of my favorites the band's ever done, but that doesn't take away from the mission at hand. I was more dedicated than ever to the cause, and to prove it, I decided to make an especially End Love themed video. And I'm just gonna play this one in full. Welcome to Watch Okay Go will play End Love on April 27th in Cleveland. Now let's get started with number 10. I think this jump's pretty cool. It's the second super slow motion part, and then they're all falling to the ground, but they all do a really good jump, and it's really impressive. So yeah, this deserves the 10th spot. Super cool. Okay, so they recorded this music video over 18 hours, and they actually went to sleep here, and that's pretty crazy. I think that's some wild dedication, and I think it's a pretty neat bit, although it is a little lackluster, I'd say, so that's why it's down here number 9. This is the bit where they're walking away from where they started, and I gotta say, pretty fun. I like the movements that Damien's doing here, and I like the little leg wiggles that guy's doing over there, and it's all pretty fun. Yeah, all pretty good. Okay, kids, stretching is so important. You gotta stretch, especially before you film an 18-hour-long music video. That's pretty important. So I think it's cool that they kept it in here. I think it's very nice. Nice to know that you gotta stretch before you do something like this. Again, they actually did this in the nighttime, and I really like how they go around the trees there. It's really clever. And I like that the goose is hanging around. That's pretty fun. But yeah, fun rotations, fun candles, everything pretty cool. Alright, the intro is a very famous part of this. I mean, look at all the fun movements. You think it's good. Oh, it's a fun little time lapse. Very cool. But then it just gets crazier and crazier as it goes. But looking back, it's still a really clever and cool start. Okay, them going around the park is pretty fun. It's not as good as something we'll get to in a bit here, but I really like that. I really like how they crawl on the ground there. That's really funny. It makes me giggle. I also like how no one really cares that they're just moseying about, so pretty fun, yeah, but we'll get to the latter part later. Okay, who wouldn't want to get together with a bunch of your friends and then pretend you're flying in a park with a goose all over you, around you? That's pretty cool. I mean, who wouldn't want to do that? That's so awesome. Anyway, I love this part, yeah. Some bias, but it's pretty fun. This might be an unpopular pick, but I think that this bit is really, really fun. I mean, look at them. They're just going all over the place. Every which way. It's incredible. Wow. And they're just spinning so fast, which kind of foreshadows the ending, which I find pretty cool. Now for some honorable mentions. First off, we got this long shot at the end, which is kind of boring, but like also really cool that they recorded all that. And then also in honorable mentions, we got this other slow-mo shot, which I didn't think was as interesting as the other one, because they're just kind of falling. But anyway, to number 1. This is a classic bit where everyone just stands up and then starts jamming along with the band. How cool is that? Yeah, if this didn't convince the band to play it, I don't know what will. Channeling my inner Mr. Beast, I decided to do a fun counting video. I could have gone longer, but the End Love started sounding like nonsense a few hundred in. End love, end love, end love, end love, end love. Ugh, end love. While I'd listened to the album on the day it was released, I had been quite busy the last few days, so it took until the 14th day for me to release my review. I was pleasantly surprised. The album was really solid from start to center, and Start to center? Okay, man. The album was really solid from start to end, and looking back on it after a few weeks, I still think it's wonderful. It might end up being one of my favorite albums of all time, honestly. Things had never been looking better for OK Go fans, and I was feeling hopeful. I'd planned on making another one of these, and I might someday, but I pulled an End Love and recorded a little announcement over the course of 10 minutes, very slowly. I sped it up, and it kinda worked. I was quite bored after 10 minutes though, so I'm amazed that the band was able to move so slowly for over 18 hours. Absolutely wild. By this point, I had dedicated myself for doing this for the next 11 days. I mean, 11's not that big of a number, but I was curious. How realistic was the chance that they'd play the song with or without my input? So I did some digging. And you have to go scarily low to find End Love, actually, with only 33 plays in history. Woof! What are the other songs on the album that aren't frequently played? Those would be In the Glass, The Closer, and Shooting the Moon, a bonus track. Neither of those are too surprising though, since closers aren't always most bombastic and bonus tracks are rarely played. It would be stupid for them to play a bonus track like Shooting the Moon over an actual song on the album, right? At this point, an unfortunate truth became apparent to me. There were 10 days left until the concert, and I had to upload 10 videos for each day. Only issue is, with this next week, I'm going to be busy as hell. I was going to be at a local furry convention for a weekend, and then the next weekend, and the 2 weekdays before, were going to be my school play, something I was involved in. So it was going to be a little hard to upload daily while my schedule was so full. I decided to break my vow and make a video saying there was a chance I could miss a day. I didn't plan on doing this, but if I needed to, I would. But not before preparing at least one video in advance. Nothing better than a good PowerPoint presentation to convince someone to do something, so I decided to make one. I scheduled this on the first day of the convention, but I had only scheduled one more, so my next video would have to be right there.
Hello, welcome back to OK Go. We'll play End Love on April 27th in Cleveland. In this completely normal episode where absolutely nothing is awry, I will be explaining what End Love is about.
Absolutely nothing unusual about this, just me talking. Nothing weird about this one either. This is the point where I began to go a little crazy. I'd done most of the reasonable things I could do, so besides continuing to comment on every OK Go video, I wasn't sure what to do, so I just kind of started doing things. Why did I do that? I'm not sure. In another typical Pepsi Man win, I found out that there are a lot more live recordings of End Love than I initially thought, so I decided to rank them. A lot of the recordings are pretty darn low in quality, but it's still nice that there's more than one. Now, this was the day of reckoning. The tour began on the 23rd, so I decided to riddle out what my dream setlist would be. I was excited to see the final setlist, but I didn't want to see it just yet, so I recorded another video. It was a simple request, just for people not to spoil the show for me, regardless of if they planned on playing it or were swayed by my efforts. I wanted the show to be a surprise. I already had a very small amount of people watching, so I doubted that anyone would say anything anyway, but I just wanted to make sure. After this, I didn't have any big plans, so I just made a final update thanking the people who joined me on this journey. I was prepared for a relaxing final day before the concert when I got a notification. I checked my phone and I couldn't believe my eyes. Less than 48 hours before the concert, I had gotten a comment saying they don't play the song. Who could this person who broke my simple request be? Who would dare do such a thing? That would be Physics Bella.
Welcome back to OK Go. We'll play End Love on April 27th in Cleveland.
2 days ago, I made a very simple request. And that request was not to tell me if OK Go played End Love on their and the adjacent possible tour. It costs nothing to do this. I could have asked for money. I could have asked for you to subscribe. I could have asked for you to go out and message the band to do this. And what do? None of these. All I ask from this entire thing is for this one little thing. And what do you do, Physics Bella? What do you do but say they don't play it? It
takes so little energy to not do this. Let me just try and figure out how much more energy it takes for you to have done this. Because for you to have done this, one of two things must have happened. The first being you looked up the set list, meaning you saw my video, took the time to watch it, and then took the time to do your own research just to ruin my day. Or a second option is you were there. You, Physics Bella, were at the concert, the opening night, mind you, meaning you spent good money to do this. But no, you just went ahead and said they don't play it. The single one thing I asked people not to do. Now, Physics Bella, or should I say One Guy Jeff, I see you have one video. Nurse hits baby in the head. Now, I watched this video, and what I summed up is that you think it's funny. You think low-functioning autistic people are funny. You saw a video of a nurse hitting a baby in the head and followed it with a struggling individual, and you made 29,000 people laugh. What kind of person has the audacity to do something like that? I'll tell you, someone named Physics Bella. That's the answer to that question. Now, Physics Bella, I did some digging, and you've commented on videos before, one of which being the Shadow of the Colossus OST number 27, Swift Horse saying awesome, comma, oh, wow. When does this song play, Physics Bella? Since you seem to be an expert, I'll tell you, in the end credits of the game. Funny, speaking of end credits, you know what else is gonna end? Your life! Oh, right, you heard me. One Guy Jeff. What an appropriate name for someone who's only gonna get one bitch in their entire life, being themselves, and if I were you, I'd feel unlucky. My goodness! What a character you must be. Do you understand what I've been doing in the last 26 days? What I have done to get to this point, Physics Bella? Ho 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 ho! I've sacrificed time and energy and so many other mental things, but here we are, day 26. Tomorrow's the day I find out, or would have been if not for your little comment. Everything I've done is worthless now. It means nothing because you went ahead and told me in advance. Do you know what I think about that, Physics Bella? I'll show ya.
So you think you can just walk in and break the one request that I made for you? No, no, no. No, 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 no. Not in a million years.
And this is what you deserve. This is what you get. This is the consequence of your actions. This is what will happen to anyone else who tells me if OK Go does or does not play End Love on April 27th in Cleveland. That is my thing to find out. I'll be there tomorrow and I'll know. I don't need anyone telling me beforehand, okay? I've spent a lot of time on this. A lot of time, and I don't need any scoundrels ruining it for me, okay? Because this, you see this? You see? That's what will happen. That's what will happen.
With a heart filled with rage, I posted the video. After a matter of hours, I was surprised to see that I had gotten a comment from none other than Physics Bella themselves, reading the following. I speak now from a place of sorrow and awakening. I name my sin betrayal. Whether by word, by silence, by action or neglect, turned away from trust. I broke what was sacred. I do not run from this truth. I face it with open hands, letting the fullness of its weight settle in me, so that I may be changed. To the one I hurt and to the presence greater than us both, I offer no excuse. Only my remorse and my willingness to be made new. I have walked through the fire of regret. I have also seen what my choice has undone. But I also reach for something beyond despair. A light still willing to meet me. A grace that does not turn away. And in this grace I lay this burden down. The betrayal is real, but it does not have the final word. I rise not to erase the past, but to live differently because of it. Transformed by truth, restored by mercy, held by a love deeper than my failure. I walk forward now, humbled, cleansed, becoming whole. I am reborn. They might play it. Hope they do. Have fun tonight. I was shocked to see that they'd watched the video, but pleasantly surprised about the comment. And they were right. They could play the song, just because they hadn't before, and that was if Physics Bella was telling the truth. Maybe they'd see my videos, and they could play it. As the dusk of the 27th day drew closer, I began my drive to Cleveland. I was almost certain that End Love would be played. I'd done too much for them not to. As I arrived at the venue, I considered the last month of my life. I'd never uploaded too consistently, and I was honestly proud of myself. Even if some of the videos were short, I still put myself to a task, and I accomplished it. Going into college, that's a skill I'm sometimes worried I lack, but this helped me see that I have that ability. As I arrived, the opener LAXs were playing, and they were really good. Everyone listened to them. But I waited outside the balcony area for a moment to think about all that's led me here. Regardless of what happened next, I was ready. And then, they were on.
OK Go did not play End Love on April 27th in Cleveland. That's the confetti I got from the concert. Anyway, I think that's okay. This entire time I had this kind of delusion in that I thought that by uploading these videos I would be able to do something to change the set list, a very stable set list. If you look, actually, the entire tour so far has had the exact same set list with absolutely zero variations. So I'm not sure what I could have done to change that. And fun fact, that Shooting the Moon song, that's actually less played than End Love. End Love is the third least played song from that album. Shooting the Moon is the second. So actually, they did a song even less played than End Love. So honestly, yay for the fans of that song. I'm happy for them. But End Love was not played. And that is okay. Because I remembered why I cared so much. I remembered why I started this whole thing. I remembered back 4,250 some days ago when my mother recorded 4,000. Is that right? Surely not. Is that right? It was 2,000 or 4,000. Anyway, back to that day when my mother recorded the video of 6-year-old me dancing to End Love. The reason I enjoyed it so much was because I thought it was fun. And the reason I enjoy it now is both because, one, it is still fun, and two, because it brings back that childlike wonder that I experienced all those years ago. OK Go was my comfort band for so long, and growing up, and they stopped producing content, that's kind of when things got a little worse. But now that they're back and I'm revisiting their stuff, it's given me kind of a refresh, And being able to see them live and hearing the songs that got me through so much of my early years was a truly magical experience, and one that I don't think I will forget anytime soon. That's why I did all this. That's why I enjoy OK Go so much, both because they are a good band, and The Adjacent Possible is a wonderful album, but also because they meant so much to me in my childhood, and going into college, I'll need all of the joy I can get. And it really was a great concert. I'm so glad I was able to go, and I'm so glad that they're back. It doesn't mean this is over, though. I'm not gonna stop until I see And Love played live before my eyes. What that means, I have no idea. Will the daily videos continue? Fuck no. Will the videos stop? Also, no. I don't know what frequency they will happen. I don't know how long it will take, but I don't intend on stopping this series. I intend on keeping it going as long as I need to. And if they announce another tour in 4, 5, 8, 11 years, I'll be back. And I will do the exact same thing, but better. Because there are some things I didn't do that I think I can do better. Because I want to see And Love played live. And I won't. And I'll do as much as I can to make that happen. But until then, thank you for joining me on this journey. And I hope that someday OK Go will play And Love again, and you'll be there with me. Thank you.